Welcome, this is Luke Smith, RealVacantLand.com, and I've got another deal for you. This one's in San Diego. I went to take a look at this property. This is a picture I took in the background. I don't get to say that about many of these deals, but drove up to it. There's a driveway, and I found an easement that follows the driveway, so it's a legal driveway that goes straight into this property. It's got a water well on it, and it's got a perk test. So we've got perk tests. We know we can put a house there. So we've got access, water well, perk test with power line, and there's a view. So there's a view in the background. We can get this property for just under $70,000 at 69 something. I'll put it in the details of this listing on landtank.com. And then I believe we could sell this thing for around $150,000. So a little more than a double of what we can buy it for. Maybe it's about double after you cook in the cost of title and things. I visited this property with the realtor that I use in this area, and he confers those kinds of prices. A lot of the other transactions in the area are other deals that I've been involved in and or visited and studied quite close. So let's jump to the next screen. I'll show you this one. So this property here, this is the property. It's almost 5 acres. It's just about 5 acres. And so this is the road that comes off 78. It's a bigger highway that goes up to Ramona. And this property, this is like where the main traffic would go by, and then there's this driveway that comes off. And this driveway goes, you can drive right in. I drove right to about here, and then it goes up a hill. So it goes uphill this way, and there were some bushes and stuff. And I'd never been there before, so I just walked. I walked the rest of it. But now that I've been there, you can just totally just drive right in. There's a gate right here at the side of the property with a bunch of no trespassing signs to our property, not from somebody else's property. Now this property here just south of us does not have septic, it does not have a well. It recently sold for $50,000, which is really strange because when you look at all the rest of the area everywhere else, like this one down here sold for $150,000. And it doesn't have what we've got with well and septic going on. It's got like a garage that you could park an RV kind of thing illegally-ish on, but that's about it. There's also easements on this property going out to the highway that way, which don't really make sense because it goes through like there's a canyon over here. You gotta go through the canyon to get there. I don't know what those easements are for. But this hill view and area here to build on, and then it goes down into valley over here, goes down into valley over here. There's a house on top of this hill looking out over the area, and I think this area in here would be a good spot to build from looking at it. I guess I don't know why I can't get it on, for whatever reason it's not coming up in like the green view. So I want to say thanks for landtank.com for letting me continuously post these properties on here. I get a lot of interesting people coming in from these properties. We've been doing a lot of deals. Lots of times I do these deals without posting them on here, but I get to know people from, 1 or 2 postings on here, and then we go do the next one, right? And so I wanted to say thanks for that. Here's some pictures. I think this is the same picture I just had in the background. So I just pulled these pictures up. These were when I was out there at the property. So here's the same barn you can see in the background looking off. This is the kind of areas. The bigger dollar houses are on the tops of these mountains. The lower dollar mobile homes and stuff are in the bottoms of these valleys. There's one that's just down the hill behind us. I think it's maybe like right in here. It just sold for $450,000. They just put a new mobile home on it. You can do mobile homes in this area, and I think that's probably where this property goes. Somebody probably picks it up from us for like the $150 I was talking about. They spend $100,000 or something to put a mobile home on here. Maybe another 50 grand and like etc. Maybe another 150, 300 grand-ish a cost, and then sell it for $450. They'd probably make $150,000 for orchestrating, buying the land for me or us or you, and putting a mobile home on it and running with it. That's probably where this property goes. But you could put one of these fancier homes like they have on the other sides of these hills because of the view. There's a bunch of good view on this property. You can just see off into different areas. So here's the fence I was talking about. This is the gate getting into our property. And the owners did they really put signs up and stuff. But I mean, you can just, I'll probably just take that down to show it when it comes to going up for sale. You can see the one neighbor up here to the side, they've got horses, they've got a round pen going on. And the one neighbor had put a little bit of brush on the property, but not that big a deal. They just dumped some brush over here. And so it goes down in different directions. There's roads and drives, and you can drive in a lot of parts of the property. So there's the property. I pull up Zillow, and so anything in the area that's for sale, I mean, the prices have gone ballistic. The cheapest stuff in the area is like other properties I've got listed, besides this one. So this one's 125. This one stands out. 34 acres. I went and visited this particular property. They're asking 125 grand for it. It's been up for sale for forever. And this hill behind me, I mean, it's got like most of it's like deeded open space, and it's got like one little patch. It'd be really hard to fit a house. Maybe it's like right up here or something. One little spot that you can't get to because there's a canyon between all the roads and it. But the county's got one little spot in there that's open for building, and the rest of it's deeded easement open space stuff. And so I don't know why they're showing all these pictures of this property, but I wanted to show this driveway goes up to another property that I've got. Like I got the top of this hill over here that's going to go up for sale pretty darn soon too. And so I know these comps really well is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so like here's the highway that goes by the 125 one. And all this is open space. Like all this land's open space. You can't use it. Like that's the competition out there. Higher prices than that. I mean, you start getting into the $200,000 and $300,000 range pretty darn quick. Like the next cheapest thing out there is $239, and yeah, we can zoom out and you're going to see the same kind of story. That's one of mine. That's one of mine. Like the cheapest ones on the board are my listings. And I know them pretty darn close, pretty darn well. This whole first page is pretty much mine. Yeah. So I got a pretty good handle of the market in this area. And I think because of the water well and because of the septic on this property, it's going to be easier to sell than some of the other ones that I've got on the board here for cheaper, that have septic problems and no water wells. That's why I think we can pull it off. So if you're interested in this, I'm asking for funding, 100% funding on this property. It's going to cost $69,000 and change, basically $70,000 to buy this one. And we'll run it through your local title company. We'll put it in your name, and I'll sign an agreement with you that you're willing to pay 50% of the profits on this one after we get it sold, or at the closing. And I'll put an invoice in there that'll kick it out of the closing, so it won't go on your taxes. And then I'll split it up with you. So we'll split it up that way. I've got a realtor, Andy Crane, that's working this area. He's really good at answering the phones and financing these properties for everyone that doesn't have the full money to pull them off. These are bigger dollar vacant land properties. He's good at finding the financing and making them happen, closing deals. And so I think we'll sign him up on this one and let him rip, let him sell this one. And I don't think it'll take too long, but you never know. We'll see how long it takes, maybe a month or 2 or 3. I think it's definitely gone by then, but we'll see. And so if you're open to that, 50% of the profits on a $70,000 purchase, and I think we can sell it for $150 in short order. Please hit the reserve button on Land Tank, and when you do, put your information in there that I'm gonna use for the contracts to get this thing into title. It's ready to go. So what I'm saying, your information, I need your contact information, like your name, your phone number, that kind of stuff to talk to you. But I also want the kind of information that's going to go on title, like if it's your company or your IRA or your whatever it might be, the name that you want the contract to be in, that I'm going to give to title, that they're going to start titling this thing up to buy it in that name. And then title is going to ask you to sign stuff, and they're going to ask you for wire. You're going to have to be ready to wire pretty darn quick. We're in title already. We're ready to go on this thing. We've got the paperwork ready. We need you to sign. Let's change it into your name, sign, and wire money. So the money's got to be ready, and you've got to be willing to sign and get stuff notarized. I don't know if you have to notarize on the buy, but on the sell, you're going to have to be ready and able to notarize it, like American notary style. And when we sell it, It's going to be with the realtor. Like I don't have enough time to market these things full on all over the place. This realtor I have set up will need to sign a contract with him, the listing agreement with him. He charges 10%. And so $150,000 sale will lose 15 grand right off the top to the realtor, but he takes over the sales, and he is much better at calling everybody back and chasing them down than I am, because I'm just juggling too many deals. So we're outsourcing the sales side to this realtor, and so I've got to get you to sign that listing agreement with him too. And then when it comes to the sale, it's going to be in your name or your company's name or whatever name you're using, so you're going to be signing on the sell side as well. So hopefully that all makes sense. I'll try to answer questions and make it understandable as we go. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Go hit that reserve now button, and I'll talk to you on the other side.